we are going to discuss related to the project selection models, which are for project selection. These models are also called as investment decisions. So whenever any firm is interested to undertake any project, they need to decide whether to go for investment, financial investment, especially in that particular project or not. So here will apply the project selection models to check whether the investment in the particular project is feasible, is beneficial, or it is not beneficial, and based upon the financial returns what the company is going to get through that particular project, the investment decision will be taken. So these numeric models, they are helpful to the organization, especially the financial aspects of the project. They will be assessed, they will be evaluated, what will be the amount of investment required for the project, and how much will be the various in terms of the financial transactions from that particular project over the life cycle of project. That all will be evaluated, and based upon the investment and the returns whatever company is achieving, the decision whether to invest in that particular project or not, that will be taken up. The contents what we have planned for this particular numeric project selection models are BRICS, then independent and mutually exclusive projects, the difference between them, fundamentals of cash flow concept. We have to understand what are the cash flow concepts, and then we have to move towards the numeric models for project selection. So out of this, in the previous session, we have already discussed about the basic principle, independent versus mutually exclusive projects, and the fundamentals of cash flow. These things we have studied. Now we have to move further for understanding actually the various numeric models for project selection. And today we will be going for the first model, that is net present value for project selection. So these are the various models: net present value, internal rate of return, P/E ratio, payback period, and accounting rate of return. So let us start with the first model, that is net present value. So net present value, which is abbreviated as capital of a project, represents the change in company's net worth or equity that would result from acceptance of the project over its life. It equals the present value of the project net cash inflows minus the initial investment outlays. It is one of the most reliable technique used in capital budgeting because it is based on the discounted cash flow approach. So first of all, let us try to simplify the definition of net present value. As the word suggests, net present value. So what we are going to do is, let us say there is a project which requires an initial investment of rupees 1 lakh. Today, if we invest rupees 1 lakh in that project, then the expected returns from that project per year over a period of life cycle, that is 5 years, we are expecting that first year, at the end of first year, the net cash flow. Now everybody knows about what is net cash flow. When I say net cash flow, it is nothing but the total revenue minus the total disbursement within that period what we are going to consider. So net cash flow within the particular period, that is year 1, is, let us say, rupees 10,000. So it is positive, means it is cash inflow. Similarly, for year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, we are getting the returns like somewhere it is 20,000, somewhere it is 50,000, somewhere it is 30,000. So these are all the cash inflows, net cash inflow we are getting at the end of those respective time periods. Now, as we already know, the time value of money, that concept, it indicates that money, whatever you have today, and if the same amount you want to have after 1 year, after 2 year, after 3 year, the value of the money is not same. The amount of the money may be same, but the value of the money may be different because of the time period which is between the various instances we are going to see those particular amounts. So if I say I have 10,000 rupees today, and if I am having 10,000 rupees after 1 year, definitely the value of the 10,000 today and 10,000 after 1 year, there is certain difference. So likewise, the cash inflows, whatever we are expecting from the project at the end of year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., those cash flows, they will be converted into their present value. Means if the cash flow is 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees after the period of 1 year, what is its value today when you are investing, because investment is done today. So on the same timeline, whenever you are investing at the same instant, at the same time period, if we want to check the value of the cash flow, which may be after a period of 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, then we need to calculate the net present value of that particular cash flow. So likewise, the present value of each and every cash flow which is expected at the end of different periods in the life cycle of the project, that will be calculated, and then we will be adding all those present values so that we can get the net cash inflow with respect to its today's value. And from this net present cash inflow, whatever we are having, we will be subtracting the initial investment, whatever we are going to make at initiation, so that we will get the net present value of the project. Now this net present value, whatever we are getting, this value will be the decision maker to check whether the project can be executed, whether the project should be executed, or the project should be accepted, or the project should be rejected. So that is why, especially in capital budgeting, so as we have discussed, these particular project selection numeric models, they're especially useful for the finance managers to decide whether the investment whatever we are making in a certain project is worth, or it is not worthy to select that particular project. And this particular method is based on discounted cash flow approach. So when I say discounted cash flow approach, means we are taking into account the time value of money, and we are taking into account the rate of interest, or the discount rate, or the cost of capital of the company when we are converting the cash flow to its present value. The net present value calculation require three important inputs. Which are those three important inputs? Number one, projected net after tax cash flow in each period of the project. That is point number one. So what is that projected net after tax cash flow? It is net after tax cash flow equals total cash inflow during a period, including salvage value if any, less cash outflows including taxes from the project during the period. So whenever I say I want to calculate the net after tax cash flow for a particular period, then what I have to do is, whatever cash inflows are there in that time period, so whatever amount you are receiving in form of receipts, that I will add it together. If the time period is the last time period for your project, maybe you are selling that project into market, or you are selling that product into market, you may be selling that equipment into market. So you may be getting some value, you may be getting some return because of selling of that asset in your market. So that will be your the salvage value for that project. So that is also nothing but a kind of receipt. So along with all the cash inflows, the receipts whatever you are having in that time period, we may also include that salvage value if it is existing, so that we can get the total cash inflow during that particular period. From this total cash inflow, we will be subtracting all the cash outflows which are there during that period. It may be you are paying some salaries, you are paying some taxes, you are paying certain amount to purchase some material, whatever is going away from your organization. So all those cash outflows, they all will be subtracted from this total cash inflow, so that we will get the net after tax cash flow for your project. The second input what we require is initial investment outlay. So that will be normally given in the problem itself, that the initial investment for the project is so and so, or if the data is given in a tabular format, so whatever the amount specified for time period 0, that is nothing but your investment outlay for the project. So the initial investment outlay represents the total cash outflow that occurs at the inception, that is time 0 of the project. The net present value of net cash flow is determined at a discount rate which is reflective of the project risk. So third important input what we require is the discount rate or the interest rate or the cost of capital. So depending upon the project risk, depending upon the capability of the organization to sustain or to adopt to those project risk, there may be certain discount rate given or interest rate given or the cost of capital given. So that is the third important input which is required. So important inputs if we are having with us, then we will be easily able to calculate the net present value for any project and then decide whether to accept the project or reject the project. The first step involved in calculation of NPV is estimation of net cash flow from project over its life. Second step is to discount those cash flows at the cost of capital. So first thing is identifying for each time period what is the net cash flow, then what is the discount rate. So how to find out the present value of that particular cash flow which is at different time periods. Then the third important thing is whatever cash flows are there, the cash flows may be even, that is they may be equal for all the periods under the life cycle of your project, or the cash flows may be uneven, or they may be unequal, they may be different for different periods. So like if I invest 1 lakh rupees, then there may be certain project which is giving me equal returns per year, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, likewise for 5 to 6 years. There may be another project where I am investing 1 lakh rupees similar, but the returns whatever I am getting net cash flow at the end of different periods, first year it is 20,000, second year it is 30,000, third year it is 10,000, fourth year it is maybe 50,000. So the cash flows are varying. So these are the two different cases. Either your cash flows may be equal or the cash flows may be unequal. So the formula for calculation of net present value which is used for unequal cash flows, that is the basic formula which can be applied even for equal cash flows. But for simplification, if the cash flows are even, we can slightly modify that formula and make it a convenient way to calculate the net present value if we are having equal cash flows. Our calculation we can reduce. Otherwise also, the formula which is used for uneven cash flows, that is universal, that is a generalized formula, and even it can be used for equal cash flows. So once we have total present value of all project cash flows, we subtract initial investment on the project from total present value of inflows to arrive at the net present value. So let us try to understand the formula. So if we are having the cash flows which are equal for each of the time period which is under consideration, then the net present value, it is calculated as NPV is equal to capital R multiplied by 1 minus inside bracket 1 plus I bracket raised to minus n divided by I minus initial investment. So this particular formula, the various notations which are used, capital R is the estimated periodic net cash flow which is equal for each and every period under consideration. Small I, this is nothing but the rate of return or the rate of interest or the cost of capital or the interest rate or the discount rate, whatever is mentioned in your problem. And small n is the life of the project, either in terms of months or years, whatever periods they have been considered. Means if I want to calculate the net present value, that is equal to the estimated periodic net cash flow, capital R, multiplied by 1 minus inside bracket 1 plus the discount rate or the cost of capital, bracket raised to minus n, that is number of periods, divided by small I, which is again the discount rate minus initial investment. Now one thing we should keep in mind, the value of small I, either in numerator or denominator, wherever we are putting, normally the value of I, that is discount rate or rate of interest or cost of capital, that will be given in the problem will be in terms of percentage, maybe 10%, 8%, 12%, 15%. Whenever we are putting the value of I, we should substitute the value of as in terms of the decimals. So if it is a 10%, we should substitute this as 0.1. If it is 15%, we should substitute the value of I as 0.15. We have to substitute the value in decimals. Second formula is when we are having the net cash flows which are unequal, which are different for different time periods. In that particular case, the net present value, that is equal to summation capital Ri divided by 1. So this is capital R suffix I divided by 1 plus R bracket raised to I minus initial investment. So now here slightly the notations are different. The value of I ranges from 1 to n. So these cash flows which are unequal, each and every cash flow divided by its 1 plus the rate of interest or rate of return or the discount rate bracket raised to period, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever is there. So likewise, each cash flow divided by 1 plus R bracket raised to its corresponding time period, that will be the present value of each and every cash flow. Likewise, we have to take into account the present value of all the cash flows, add them together for all the periods right from 1 to n, and from this summation we have to subtract the initial investment to get the net cash flow. The decision rule, if we are having single project, so standalone project means if there is a single project under consideration, the project will be accepted only if the net present value is positive, and the project will be rejected if the net present value is negative. So the rule is very clear. If only single project is under consideration, the acceptance or rejection of the project is based upon the net present value of the project. If it is positive, we have to accept. If it is negative, we should reject the project. Now, if the net present value comes out to be 0, then we should stay indifferent. We should stay neutral between accepting and rejecting the project. The top management will take decision upon whether to accept the project or reject the project, because the net present value is equal to 0. So this kind of situation may come. Even if the net present value is zero, the management may go for accepting the project because they want to be in the competition. So we have seen certain non-numeric models of project selection also. So to be in the competition, sustain in that environment, so the even if the net present value is equal to zero, the company may go for accepting the projects, but that decision will be taken by the top management or higher authorities. The formula or the criteria for net present value is always, if it is positive we have to accept, if it is negative we have to reject the project. Now what will happen if there are mutually exclusive projects in front of us, that project proposals, and out of them only one project proposal is to be selected. So we have to calculate the net present value for all the projects under consideration, and then the project which is having higher net present value among the projects which are having positive NPVs, that project will be accepted. Let us say there are 5 proposals in front, and one of them is obtaining the net present value as negative. Automatically that project will be rejected. Then we will be considering only the remaining 4 projects, and those 4 projects, whatever project is having highest for the NPV, that will be selected. Let us consider one example. This is about the cash flows which are even. The net cash flow, calculate the net present value of a project requires an initial investment of $243,000, and it is generate a net cash flow of $50,000 each month for 12 months. Assume that the salvage value of the project is zero. The target rate of return is 12% per annum. So this is a typical problem given. The problems which will be there will be similar to this. Initial investment will be given. Net cash flow for different time periods they will be given. Salvage value may be mentioned, may not be mentioned, and the target rate of return or the cost of capital or the interest rate, it will be mentioned. So now you can see is 2,43,000 and the net cash flow is $50,000 per month. That is equal for 12 months period of time. Means the period which is under consideration is 1 year. In this 1 year, every month the project is going to return $50,000 per month as the net cash inflow for that project. The salvage value is zero, so that is not to be taken into account. The target rate of return is 12% per annum. So the 12% rate is given for, since we are taking into account the cash flow per month, so 12% divided by 12 months, that is the rate of return will be assumed to be 1% per month. So the 3 important things what we require for solving the problem of, one is the initial investment, second is the net cash inflow at the end of each period, that is $50,000 per month. Likewise, how many number of periods are there? There are 12 months, and the rate of return is 1% per annum, 1% per month. 12% per annum divided by 12, so we will get 1% per month. That is the rate of return. So this is how we can go for solving the problem. Initial investment 2,43,000, net cash inflow per period 50,000, number of periods n is equal to 12, that is 12 months, and discount rate per period, that is I is equal to 12% per year divided by 12. So we will be having 1% per month. So now, using this all data which is available, the net present value we can calculate, that is equal to, we will be using the formula what we are having. So capital R, that is 50,000, which is uniform, multiplied by 1 minus 1.01 bracket raised to minus 12 number of periods. This total divided by the rate of interest, that is 0.01. minus the initial investment, which is given as 2,43,000. So in all, if we go for simplification of this particular calculation, we get the solution, that is 3,19,754. This is the net present value of the project. So since we are getting the value as positive, we can say this particular project can be accepted, because this is a single project with even cash flows. So we'll be using